So today we're going to talk about search engine optimization, also known as SEO, also known informally as Google Juice, and linking, also known as page ranking. And so I'm going to explain to you the basis and the foundation of what it is and how it's important to you. So in a nutshell, this is how SEO helps your business, even though you might not know what SEO is yet. First of all, SEO is a free way to get traffic to your site. Then from that traffic, you can earn trust from that and then go ahead and sell your product or service. So if you are a real estate agent, you may want to sell houses. And so you could do that potentially by paying for ads, or you could do it freely by getting traffic to your site using SEO. After that, you could earn trust by way of sharing content on your blog that is helping that traffic, right? So you're earning their trust. And then from there, you can upsell them by selling a product or service. And one of the ways that you can do that is through a email click funnel. And we'll talk all about that later. But overall, this is the process on how you can use SEO, which is a free way to online market your business. So what is SEO? SEO is essentially search engine optimization. And I know you know that, but let's break it down. A search engine, everyone knows it as Google and Bing, but there are other search engines as well. YouTube is the second largest search engine out there. So if you're not optimizing for YouTube, you are losing a big audience there. Bing is I would say second rate search engine. So just FYI, those are search engines, but Pinterest has a search engine as well as Facebook, even though not a lot of people use Facebook to search for stuff, right? Except for people. So those are search engines. And what you want to do and what we're going to focus on is ranking for Google. So what does ranking mean? So when you're searching inside of Google, you've got that really blank screen in that field and you're searching for something, let's say a recipe for that night. What you want to do is get to that page and find, as a user of Google, right? Find what you're looking for. So most often, actually I think the number is like 80 to 90% of the time, no one ever goes to page 2, 3, 4, or 5. Typically the most clicked pages or the top like 3 links after you hit search. And so the goal with the business is being able to understand what those search words that people are using are and being able to rank in the top 1, 2, or 3 for that keyword search term. So what are keywords? Keywords are basically the intent of the person using the search. So if I am a mom and I'm looking for recipes for my family, what are the words that I'm using to type into Google? Okay. And what you want to do is be able to find those words that have a ton of moms or whoever your audience is out there that are searching for that so that you can get and garner a ton of traffic from that term. What you don't want to do is optimize all of the content that you have out there for things that people only search for once or twice. So the whole goal behind content creation with your website or your blog is to be able to get the most amount of traffic with the time that you spent on that content and then being able to deliver education to that person and gain their trust and then sell your product. So it's really important that you search for the keywords that your specific audience is looking for. What are pages with high authority? And so this gets into the Google linking that you may have heard about. So oftentimes you'll hear bloggers or you'll hear sites say, hey, I just got linked to, this is awesome, right? So like, for example, big sites like Huffington Post, CNN, marthastewart.com, or any big like HGTV, if you're a realtor, maybe realtor.com, if you are linked from those high authority sites, Google sees that in its little algorithm and logic and says, hey, this little blog was just cited by this big blog or big website. So that big website has a huge authority. And so maybe I'll pass down that link juice to the small blog because obviously those big bloggers won't just link willy-nilly to a small blogger unless they have good content. And so that's really what link juice is. And it's a word that's not used formally in the official SEO community, but it is used among bloggers and among people who are just trying to understand what SEO is. So link juice is the ability to kind of get rank signals, if you will, from bigger authority sites. So overall, what you need to know is if you have relationships with people in those bigger businesses and you can get a link to your site to whatever that content is, that would help your search rankings immediately. Because at the end of the day, when Google figures out, like the algorithm that Google uses, like their machine learning and artificial intelligence, all the data that they're putting in, what they're doing is they're saying, okay, how do I figure out which content in the web universe do I rank in the top 1, 2, and 3? And they've got all these little secret like logic and algorithms that they go through to figure out what ranks in the top 3, right? And so one of the rank signals is the authority site. So if you hear rank signals, that's really what it means, is what logic does Google use to pull up the top 3 sites for that key term. And so SEO is not a industry that's regulated because it's really people trying to figure out and guess what Google's logic is, right? And so you've got Pinterest logic, you got Facebook logic, you got YouTube logic, and YouTube is owned by Google. So, there might be some overlap there. But overall, search engine optimization is truly just trying to figure out what the intent of the user is and delivering that value back to the user. Oftentimes you'll hear people say, don't write for Google search engines, right? Write for people. And that's really true, but if you want me to get people to the site, you have to know what Google is actually looking for the logic. So it's a balance. So I talked about this a little bit. YouTube, again, is the second biggest search engine out there. And so if you're not optimizing your descriptions on your YouTube videos and even your titles, your videos are not going to get found. So what I would highly recommend is, in order of priority, if you have a YouTube channel with video out there, you should definitely be looking at the content in there. And what you should be doing is linking to your website, and as well as creating descriptions that are very specific to what you have said in that content. And you can't, I've seen people who do really well by just transcribing the entire video into the description so that like they can kind of skim through it and know what the video is about, so that they can actually watch it. So overall, that is what I would recommend, is if you have a video or videos out there, go ahead and start optimizing by adding descriptions and better titles there. Pinterest is another big platform, and this platform is specific to people who have a product to sell. A specific product to sell. So not a service, because Pinterest it has an audience where people have an affinity to actually buy from Pinterest. So if you have a product, that is a great platform to use. And then Facebook, if in order of priority, would be my last thing that I would optimize for, because Facebook is a pay to play type of platform ever since they went live with their public offering. So I would say, unless you have money to spend, Facebook might not be the platform that you go optimize for just yet. So I talked about this already. If you are creating a website and you're wanting to drive traffic via free mechanisms, you are essentially going to be blogging about your topic or your subject area. You're essentially going to become a content generating machine. You should be releasing content weekly and getting people to come to your site. Whether you're optimizing on YouTube or on Pinterest, your goal is actually to make your blog and your website your home base. The reason why is you never know if YouTube is going to become like Facebook, where it's a pay to play area. So your goal is to always drive traffic back to your site. And so at the end of the day, with SEO, you're driving traffic to your site. But if you were also optimizing for these other platforms for SEO, again, drive them back to your website so that you can continue add value to your audience and then be able to upsell them when you need to. So I'm going to talk about some words that you might hear in the blogosphere, so that you kind of understand what people are talking about. If you see a dip in traffic, or you hear that the Google algorithm has changed, or Google just made an update, you kind of understand why that's important, right? So keywords, like I said, is the intent of the user searching for something. And typically what I would recommend when you're using the tools is that if you see keywords that are being searched over 300 times per month, and they only have about 500,000 pages of results. Those are the ones that you want to focus on, and I'll explain that all in a different video. But overall, keywords are what people are actually typing in to search within Google. So if you are a t-shirt store, a local t-shirt store, what you want to do is be able to say, hey, I like if I'm one of your clientele, I would be searching for Kansas City Chiefs t-shirt. And those are the keywords that I'd be kind of looking to see if I can rank for. Long tail keywords are more specific, and these actually have a lower volume because not a lot of people are searching for them. But what you have to know is that you're in it for the long game. And what I mean by that is like these shorter keywords like cute shirts or cute sports shirts. Like these are keywords that there are probably big companies with massive amounts of money that have ads running to it. So if you ever search in Google and you see that little word ad, people are like paying to be in those spots. And so it might be hard for you to rank for them. And so the second strategy as a smaller business is ranking for long tail keywords. So things like blue Kansas City Royals t-shirt. Those are long tail keywords. So instead of having like 1,500 searches per month, it might have 200 searches per month. Okay, so what is a search engine results page, also known as SERP? That is actually in Google, right? When you go to Google, it's completely blank until you hit search with that key term and that page comes up. That is a SERP. So you want to rank in the top 3 of a SERP. Okay, you're getting it. And then ranking is obviously being in the top 3. And so you'll hear, hey, if you're ranking in the top, let's say 4 through 10, SEOs will say you can optimize those rankings from 4 to 10 because it's easy for you. You're already ranking for that word. It's easy for you to just optimize the pages that you're not ranking in the top 3 for and just push it up. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So it's easier to, let me kind of rephrase it. It is easier to rank in the top 3 if you're already if you already have content out there that's already ranking between 4 and 10. And so what you could do is go back to that content and tweak it so that you can get into that those coveted spots of 1 to 3. And then page authority is basically how long a page has been on the interwebs, and then also how Google views your page. So think of marthastewart.com or buzzfeed.com, CNN, Fox News. Those pages all have huge rank authority, and if they're linking to smaller blogs, they're trusted sources, and what that means is that you'll get that link juice so that it will increase where you land on the SERP. Hope that makes sense. With blogging, you are going to be a content generating machine optimizing for SEO, and you're going to be doing research to figure out what your audience wants to see before you write your content. These are some of the tools of the trade that I will go through in the training so that you have an understanding of how to use it during your research phase. Now we are going to learn how to do keyword searches before we even begin to blog and learn about the anatomy of blogging.